and welcome to Delta College Impact. I'm Roger Raleigh, your host for today's program. And if, like me, you're saying, what's going on, and watching all those human-powered vehicles race around the track? Well, on today's program, we're going to be learning about how Delta College, one of the participants in that race, turned out competing against the University of Kansas, UC Berkeley, UC Davis, San Luis Obispo, and a bunch of other colleges. We're going up against the big guys, and we're going to tell you how we found out in a few minutes. But joining me on today's program, I have two guests on the first half of the show. We have Charlie Robinson, who's an instructor in our mechanical engineering program here at Delta College. And joining us is Philip Pressgrove, who's a student in our engineering program as well. But Charlie, before we talk with Philip and find out what his involvement in the program is, let's talk about the race. What's involved in that human-powered vehicle race?
Well, the race itself is a whole weekend of racing, and it consists of three categories. One is a judging of the vehicle itself, and it's judged by a panel of professional engineers and technicians that are ASME members, American Society of Mechanical Engineers. They put on the race. It's judged for the innovation of the design, and the criteria there is safety, innovation, in other words, new ideas, how the process to develop the vehicle came about. The second part of the competition is a sprint race, they call it, which is like Bonneville-style racing. You have an area to get going in and then go through time traps, and it's a straight line race. So you get up as fast as you can go and go through the timing lights, and it registers the speed of the vehicle. And the third event, which is on the third day, is a 40-mile road race. And that's a relay race. You have to have at least 4 riders, and you have to change riders during the race, like any relay. Both racing events are co-ed. They require men and women riders. So that's it's a fun weekend of a lot of good stuff.
And I mean, it's amazing because what you see there is the key is that it's human-powered vehicle. And so that means the students have to be powering the vehicle.
Right.
But the design is really the key where we get the engineering aspect.
Right.
Now, how did we get to compete against people like Berkeley and San Luis Obispo and UC San Diego?
Delta College has a student chapter, ASME chapter, as do these other schools. And it's a premier event. There are other contests also that ASME puts on, but this is their premier West Coast event, or western part of the U.S. event. And so we got involved 5 or 6 years ago when the race was here.
And now we're looking at a picture of, I guess, was this one of our earlier versions?
Yeah, that's a bike that we raced in the second year.
And so this is our 5th year of competition, or that was our 5th year of competition?
This one was the one we took to University of Nevada, Las Vegas for racing there. And this, as you can see, is a tricycle. That was the last tricycle we built. Now we're into two-wheelers. You have the design part of it is pretty much wide open. The requirements are that there be rollover protection of some sort in case the vehicle rolls over, and that the riders are restrained in the vehicle with a seat belt or harness of some sort.
So you have to have the safety aspect also built into the design of the vehicle.
Right. This vehicle that we raced at Reno won the judges' trophy for the safest. They judged it the safest vehicle on the track.
Now, we saw the event. Now, we saw people racing around the track. And so we're in there competing against all these big-name colleges. And what was the final result?
First place overall.
First place overall. So that means out of the whole 3 days of activities, Delta College beat Air Force Academy, from what I understand, and also compete the University of Hawaii, and a bunch of the big. How many schools were competing?
There was about 26.
26, and we're number 1, I guess.
Yes, number 1. So this coming year, our vehicle number this current year will be number 1. The winner from the previous year gets to wear number 1 on their vehicle.
Now that is exciting stuff. Now we're gonna talk with Philip, because Philip is a new recruit into your program, and Philip, now you're just starting out in the engineering program here at Delta. What caused you to decide to take engineering as your courses?
I've always liked designing things and using my mind to solve problems, and I just I got into some CAD classes in high school and just decided that this is what I wanted to do.
Now, had you ever heard of the concept of a human-powered vehicle and this sort of contest?
No, I hadn't, except I saw it in the college catalog and decided that it would be fun to take.
And so, Charlie, we have a specific course that's aimed at preparing the
Yes.
students to design this course?
We're
Vehicle?
a little bit unique in amongst our competitors in that we offer this as a class. And so that students meet on a regular basis in class and then put in extra lab hours or to be arranged type hours for working on it. The course is just one unit.
Okay, so now, Philip, you sign up for the class, and I understand you have a special interest in designing possibly a new aspect of the vehicle this year.
Yeah, my goal is to get the bike hand-powered, so I can be a driver for this. Either both hand and foot-powered, or either or have the ability to change from one drive system to another.
And the reason that you're interested in getting it hand-powered?
Is due to my disability. I have no leg ability, so I need to use my hands.
Now, Charlie, this sounds like a pretty unique concept. Is this something we've never done before, I would imagine?
Well, we're in the gathering ideas stage right now in the project through the end of October. And we have a number of people like Philip that are working in various directions, trying to come up with good ideas and then make models or prototypes so that they can...
Each one that we've seen in here, and this I guess is you in class here and starting to work with the students, what's the process that they go through on coming up with these ideas?
Well, students gather into groups or committees based on what their interests are.
And we actually have a wind tunnel that works on designs?
Yes, we built this wind tunnel. I say we, as students did, about 3 or 4 years ago, and that allows us to test one 12th scale model in the wind tunnel. And then the ones that test the best and have the lowest drag end up being made into the HPV.
And so now they go through and they're doing the actual construction of the vehicle?
This is a construction of a mold. Here's some more mold work being done. A mold has to be made first, and then the fairing or the body of the vehicle gets laid up into a mold.
Now, this is the insides of the...
Yes, this is the bicycle that goes inside the fairing.
Now, what are all the pink ribbons? Is that just to look cool?
Yeah, that's some aerodynamic testing. What you're looking for here is the ribbons to stay still, go out behind the vehicle and stay still. When they're moving all around like those ones at the back, that indicates turbulence. And turbulence, the air curls around and actually helps, it puts a drag on the vehicle. So each year we try to eliminate some of that aerodynamic drag.
Now, are these pictures of the team in action?
Yes, this is the team at San Diego from several years ago, and that was our first two-wheeler with a full fairing, and it did quite well.
Now, how come some of them don't seem to have that molding? How are we able to get that molding process?
Well, the name of the game here is, in order to go really fast, is aerodynamics, basically, and that's not required. And some people use their fairing for the sprint race, the straight race, and then remove it for the road race because it's a relay and they have to change riders. Our students have designed, for example, this bike, the hatch or the door is held on with Velcro, and so it's easy to pull it off and change riders and put it back on again and send it on its way. We went from the bike that was just shown, the gold one, took approximately 30 to 45 seconds for pit stops. This vehicle, they were getting down in the 15 and 12 second range for rider changes.
Now, Philip, as you've looked at the history of this vehicle, and you're now thinking about coming up with your own design, what are some of the features, that, in addition to the hand-powered aspect, that you're trying to build into your vehicle?
I'd like to get it lower to the ground and have a lower fairing, make more bullet shape. I just thought that the problem with this one is it's really tall and skinny, and in crosswinds that acts as a sail, which would lead to it going over, and it became very evident in Reno. But in Reno, we had a high wind, so that's probably not going to happen again anytime soon.
But so what you're thinking is you're already taking history, taking what you're learning in the class and starting to put that into practice in your design. Now, in addition to engineering courses, what other classes are you taking here at Delta College?
I have a photo class, I have a typing class, PE, what else?
Yeah, what do you plan to do after Delta College?
After Delta, I would like to either transfer to Davis, maybe Poly, another four-year institution, maybe get my master's.
And then you take all of our learning to those schools and help to beat us? Is that the plan, Philip? No, I know. But Charlie, that's got to be exciting for you. Have you seen a lot of students from your program go on to engineering schools?
Quite a few have gone to Cal Poly, but Sacramento State and a lot of other schools too.
Have you run into any of them at the competition?
Yeah, a few actually.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, we have.
That's got to be fun to see your students at these other
fun.
universities.
Very much.
Now, one of the things that, as you think about it, now this was our 5th year, what has the college been learning about this program? Because when you go up against the big guys, it's got to be an interesting learning experience for us as well.
Well, it definitely is fun. It's fun whether you win or lose, but it's really fun to win. I think it's a good experience for the students to see that hard work and putting a lot of thought into something allows you to compete with anybody.
Now, in addition to this course, what other types of engineering courses do we offer here at Delta?
Oh, we offer a pretty full range of lower division work for people that are going on for a 4-year or more degree, such as materials, strength of materials and statics, and all the drafting and CAD computer drafting classes. And we also have a program for engineering technicians for people that are planning to get a 2-year degree and then go on to work. And so we cover both.
So that's a great point, is that in addition to talking about students who, like Philip, are planning to transfer on to other colleges, we also have a program designed for people who are going to conclude their AA degree work here and then go right into work.
Right.
Now, one of the things as you start to think about this, Charlie, is do you have secrets in this, or do you find the other instructors maybe not sharing with you some of their secrets?
Well, we were talking about that yesterday because a couple schools have asked us for a technical report. The students produce a technical report that gets judged, and this year the report was over 100 pages. So it's quite an undertaking in itself to produce that. So some of the other schools are asking for our technical report, which outlines how our design process, our students' construction techniques, and all that.
Well, you know, this has been great because you found out in the first half of the show how Delta College was able to beat some of the big 4-year schools in an engineering contest. We're going to come back on the second half. We're going to talk more about the human-powered vehicle program here at Delta College, our engineering program, and meet another student in the program and talk about Delta College engineering their way to success in human-powered vehicles. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Prepare for an exciting career in technology at San Joaquin Delta College. Delta has programs in engineering, mechanical technology, industrial technology, and construction. Your future starts at Delta College. Call 209-474-5230.
You caught me watching the pictures because, like you, I'm interested in finding out about our human-powered vehicle program here at Delta College. My name is Roger Waller, and I'm your host for today's program. And on the first half of the program, we talked with Charlie Robinson about some of the things that went into the aspect of competing against Kansas, UC Berkeley, UC Davis, and a lot of the other big four-year schools when Delta College came out #1 in a human-powered vehicle race that was held in Reno, Nevada. Now, on the second half of the program, we're going to be talking with Charlie, and we're joined by Ray Wu, another student in our engineering program. We're going to talk a little bit more about the program and specifically what goes into getting ready to compete against the big guys and how we won. Charlie, why don't you walk us through the process of how a student gets prepared to do the design work and come up with that vehicle that I guess we always race in the spring?
Right. Well, we start out the year, the fall semester, with the class, and then the primary thing to get off going with is the design into the vehicle. So students have this year they have till the end of October to come up with all kinds of wild and crazy ideas, but they have to spend some time and develop their ideas. If they want to present an idea and convince the rest of the group that it's the way to go, they have to develop it to the point where they can convince other people that it's a good idea.
So the student not only does the design, but they have to do a presentation and basically a sales job on the rest of the class.
It's informal, but they need to get up in front of the rest of the group and convince them. And some of the ways that students convince people is with really good illustrations, or they build a model, a scale model of some sort, or they build a prototype that can be ridden or at least sat on or looked at. And so these different ways are the ways that the students convince the rest of the group that their idea is a valid one.
Now, we have an expert in this process because we have Ray Wu. And Ray, this is the third year you're involved in the program, but really you also went to San Diego to compete with Delta College. How did it go on this process of developing your idea and your model and making the presentation?
To me, it's a whole new concept. I came from high school not knowing pretty much, not much about engineering, and coming here and seeing this project, I thought, it'd be a fun project. So from design, basically looked at old photographs and seen old video. From there came with ideas on how to make take a bike and make it into something totally different, human-powered vehicle, and go for speed and safety. And from there we made little drawing designs, and we made foam models of our bike and fairing. And from there we did different testing, and then eventually came up with the bike.
Was it an exciting day when you had to come through and make your sales pitch to the rest of the class?
Oh yeah, definitely, because doing presentations, I wasn't really a presentation guy myself. And then coming to do a presentation where I had to convince the class that my idea was a good idea, or anyone's ideas, or support them, was something I haven't done before. And after experiencing it, I have more in-depth knowledge of what the engineering world is to better prepare myself.
That's great. Now, Charlie, so the students work on coming up with this design. Mm-hmm. They make their presentation. Is it put to a vote, or how do you decide on the best one?
Primarily, it's a consensus of the group. Then the next phase is testing, wind tunnel testing. We have a wind tunnel that several students built several years ago. We had a big evacuation fan donated by the Stockton Fire Department, the kind they used to evacuate smoke out of buildings. So that's the power source, the wind source for the wind tunnel. And so they test the shape of the fairing that they want to use in there. Then lots of other testing goes on, like the strength of the various materials that are going to be used in our engineering lab. That type of thing gets tested.
Now, for the people at home, when you mean fairing, you're talking about...
That's the body of the aerodynamic body of the vehicle.
You notice how I always say, for people at home, that's really for me, so that I understand what you guys are talking about. But so that fairing is the outer shell, mm-hmm. the design that goes into it. Now, Ray, were you surprised to see a wind tunnel here at Delta College?
Yeah, when I heard the idea of a wind tunnel, I was thinking something huge, like what they use at NASA. As a matter of fact, our idea did come from one of the NASA sites here in California. They helped us out with different ideas on how to build a wind tunnel. We had Kevin Flynn, one of our old team members, he went down there and talked to them and actually had the idea of how to put together the wind tunnel.
Oh, that's great. So we get the students out on field trips also to see some of these spots. Mm-hmm. Now, okay, so now we've gone through the wind tunnel. What's next?
Next is construction, starting on the construction of the vehicle, where we different groups work on either the frame or the fairing or the drivetrain, whatever it might be, and they concentrate on their area, building a mold for the fairing, putting all the components together for the vehicle, for the frame part of the vehicle.
Now we're going to a video here that talks about, was this down at Reno?
This is this is at the University of Nevada, Reno. That's a UNLV's bike.
Now, Ray, when you went to this in San Diego, was this a great chance for you to meet with other students and talk about what goes on in other programs?
Oh, definitely, because just coming from Delta, we had certain ideas here which, we thought were pretty good ideas. We go down to the competition, we see different bikes, we get different ideas for next year's bikes, and also we get a chance to talk to the students, see how the program works down there compared to how our program works. And I was surprised to find that I thought our club was pretty small. We had about 15, 20 students or so. I thought our program was pretty small. I talked to a certain, I forget which university, but they only had like about 6 members working on their vehicle. So it was totally, a new concept to me that we had such a big group here at Delta, being a junior college. And a lot of students were envious of us because we had a full shop here. We can do all the work ourselves when they had to basically pay other people to do the work for them.
Yeah. Now, when we look at what this person's doing, do the students have to make presentations there?
This is a presentation being made before the panel of judges by a student group, members of our group.
And so basically what we have to do, and Ray, you had to participate, I guess, in making that presentation. Now, is that evaluated also?
Oh, yes, definitely.
So that went into us winning #1 as well. Okay, so now here's the day of the event. And we're
freezing cold and very windy.
Oh, was it freezing cold?
Oh, it was 38 degrees and 40-mile-an-hour crosswind at times.
So is it just like a start with Indianapolis 500?
Yes. It's a rolling start because you can't put your foot down in most of these vehicles. If you stop, you fall over and you need somebody to push you or help you stay upright to get going.
So basically, we're number 16 in this event?
Well, 16, the first place team from the previous year gets #1, and then the other entries just get randomly picked numbers. So yeah, that's ours, number 16.
And this was part of the relay race?
There goes the door back on. He was just putting on his shoulder harness.
Now, how long is the race?
40 miles, so it takes a couple hours, hour and 45 minutes.
And you have how many riders?
At least 4. We had 6 in this event. We changed riders by time.
Now, this was part of different parts of the aspect of the contest. And so what position did we end up coming in this one?
In the road race, we came in 7th place. In the sprint race, we came in 1st place, and in the judging of the design and construction and the technical part of it, we came in 1st place.
And so all of these
so the
things
overall was 1st place.
blended together. So it's great to see this vehicle. So you had to actually pass other bikes. Ray, when you were down in San Diego doing this, were you a rider?
No, just that bystander, so to speak.
Now, are all the riders, are they engineering students as well?
Yes, it's required.
So you have to have physically fit engineering students
Yes.
as well?
Yes, and of course, some of these large schools have a large pool of engineering students to draw from. But we've always been able to find some real good riders, so obviously.
Now, is it also part of the choice process? Do you have time trials for the different bike riders?
Yes.
Oh, do you really?
Yes, you have to earn your spot on the team.
And this is the victorious team?
That's the riding team there. Here we are at San Diego. The race at San Diego was out at the Navy Air Base. So we stopped and took a picture by airplane.
That is fantastic stuff, Charlie. I'm
It's
sure
fun.
it gets your heart pumping every time you see that
Yeah, it's
sort
a
of
fun event.
contest.
You need to come this year and watch.
I know, it sounds like something that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, let's go to Ray here real quick. And Ray, as you think about your experience, what did you learn by going through this whole process?
Oh, basically it taught me, because coming out of high school, I knew I wanted engineering looked fun to me, but I had no idea how it really worked. And going through this process as, coming with the idea, basically having a problem to solve, which is building a human-powered vehicle and being safe and winning. Going from starting process, from ideas to building to testing it to actually racing and watching it win was something new to me, which helped me, put my ideas or basically tell me that I really want to be an engineer and showed me the steps on becoming an engineer.
I'm sure it built a lot of confidence as you start to look at yourself and what you do and how well you guys competed. That is fantastic.
Definitely.
Now, Charlie, as you think about next year, do you find it getting you excited every year to get together and work on this project?
For me, it's no problem. I get excited about it all the time. We always have new students coming in and then returning students, and some students that have moved on to other things and other schools. So there's always fresh ideas coming in, and it's really exciting.
Now, one of the things,
it's a fun thing to be an instructor.
So in the fall, we come up with the design.
Right.
And now we haven't really talked about when you hit the spring, you got to get in there running on the design.
Yeah, the event's usually the last weekend of April. And so it seems like that's a long ways away, but there's a lot to do. And so the construction end of it and the road testing and the training of the riding team takes a lot of time.
And I know one other thing that you see a lot of times in racing events, you see all these decals of all these different vendors and stuff. And I happen to see one on your vehicle. Do you get a lot of local community support?
Yes, we've been very fortunate in that we've had quite a few businesses in our community that have sponsored us over the years, primarily in goods, in bicycle parts or in fabric for the carbon fiber fairing, or for plastic, for paints and resins and things like that.
So really, if somebody out there is watching the program and they're asking themselves, gee, that's exciting, and you have a business that might be able to join and participate with Delta, certainly one of the things you're going to see in a few minutes is an address on how you can contact Charlie Robinson and let him know how you can help us out, because there's always something new. I know you mentioned about this carbon resin and that kind of stuff. That's not easy to find, I would imagine.
No, it's not, and it's quite expensive. So the school has been good about putting up the money for what we need to do this project. And of course the road trip itself is expensive, taking 18 to 20 students on a trip anywhere, and so for a weekend. So we've been very fortunate that the school's been a good backer.
And that's a great point. In the 5 years that you've been participating, you've taken students to what different cities?
Well, we've been to University of Nevada, Las Vegas. We've been to University of California at San Diego. We've been to Reno, UN Reno. We've been to Davis, and we hosted here one year.
Oh, did we?
Yes.
We hosted it here.
We hosted with UOP. We had the technical report there. We had the sprint race out at 8 Mile Road, and we had the road race here in our parking lots.
So some of the things that you can start to see is the program here at Delta College certainly stands with others around the state and around the country. And if you're interested in learning more about our engineering program here, or learning how you can help out with the Human Vehicle Project, you can contact our Allied Science and Technology program at Delta College, 5151 Pacific Avenue here in Stockton, 95207. And you can call the office at area code 209-474-5230. And so as you think about applying science and applying technology, that's one of the things that you saw in today's program. I want to thank my guests for joining us and learning about how Delta College was #1 in human-powered vehicles, and we want to talk to you about getting involved in the program. Thanks for watching today's show, and we encourage you to tune into future Delta College Impacts. Thanks for watching.